Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the video. My name is Bradley, also known as the Theswimcoach. Today, we're going to be looking at the fantasy football. We're going to be looking at the strikers today, or the forwards. But if you want to join my my league, the code is going to be up here, and there'll be also a link down in the description to get you straight into it. So let's jump straight into this video and let's see what we're going to pick. So now, last year, Ollie Watkins finished the top point scorer for the forwards on 228. Now, so far, 49% of people have got Watkins in, with 42% of people got Haaland in. So big shock. And then the third person who finished in was Havertz. So it's quite interesting. Now, it is a hard one to discuss fully on what people want. Are they going to go with Haaland and have a few £6 million or £6.5 million striker forwards and mix and match with their midfielders? So that's something you guys got to look at. Now, Havertz was the surprise for me as an Arsenal fan. 14% of people picked him for this season. 8 million. So I think he was under midfielder last year, if I remember rightly. So that's going to be an interesting one. Solanke's there as well, which is really good. 11% of people. Now, here is the big one, okay? And this is where a lot of people have been talking about, and I've seen that have picked, and of course, 55% of people have picked Isaac. Now, yeah, 27 games last year starts. 17 before that. So, only one yellow card last year, 3 the year before that. So, a lot better. Now, I think that Newcastle are going to be a bit of a surprise force this year. I think there's going to be a tighter competition all round. I don't think City will walk it. I think that it will be 2 or 3 teams like this year, like last season, and then 2 just breaking away near the end again, like what happened last season. But I think there's going to be 5 teams, maybe even 6, fighting for those 3rd and 4th place finishes. Where you're going to have potential, what Chelsea are going to be like, what Spurs are going to be like. I can't believe I'm saying that. Manchester United, Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool. Who else have I missed off? Let's have a little look. Yeah, those ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. That's going to be your top 8, I believe. So that's going to be an interesting. And you've got to think about what players are going to play where, who's playing who. Now, another one that's up there on the strikers is Matisse from Crystal Palace. I think they're going to do a bit of a shock, and I think they may finish 9th or 10th. But I think they'll take points off of those previous teams. And I think they could push people as well. Jackson, now not many people picked him. Alvarez, I'm not talking about because of we're just not going to talk about him. Now, there are other players out there. Look, you've got, if you want to have someone like Haaland, and you're going to probably have a £6.5 million, 6.5 and a 6 million. Now, one of the people that I think that could it be interesting is Wood, but I think people got to look. And I'm going to go straight to Nottingham Forest, okay, and yeah, with their forwards, they haven't got many. You're thinking he's going to be up there. Sorry. So I think Chris Wood could be another one if you have someone like Haaland in your team. Gakpo, yeah, maybe. Calvin Lewis, another one, 6 million. Only 1.5, only 1.6% of people have picked him. There's another one. Jesus, I think you may get a lot of points for him. His shots, maybe on a few on target. I think you got to be careful. Mopay, another one. I wouldn't go with Nketiah. I just think that there's other players out there that you could probably use because he's not going to get much game time. Either Tony, but that depends on if he moves. If he moves to one of those top 8 teams, I think you could probably put him in. But also at Brentford, he is their penalty taker. So you're going to hopefully get penalties from that as well. And 11% of people have picked him. So again, that's going to be an interesting one. Now, you're going to have someone, the Leicester players, the Ipswich players, and the Southampton players, which you can use. I think someone like Wolves have got too many forwards. So I think you've got to be a bit careful with Wolves. Don't they probably do a lot? Lukaku, no. See, even here. Excuse me, sorry about that. There's a few here, and there's a lot. Look, even the 4.5 million players, 2.5% of people. Vardy. You completely forget about Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is very good on hitting shots on target. Now, the problem is you can have with Jamie Vardy, okay? If we click on Jamie Vardy, first few games, Spurs, Fulham, Villa. He's going to find it hard. So I think that's going to be an interesting one for you guys. Now, if we go by sold player or selected team selected, look at that. That is just an interesting one. Now, but look who they've got. So they're the things you got to look at. So Pedro, wasn't he? I'll talk about that later. So I think you've definitely got to have one of. If you don't have Haaland in, you've got to have these two in. That's definitely the thing. If you want Haaland, you can't have both of them. I think that's where you got to be a bit careful. And I think looking at what people are going to pick, where people are going to play, what games people are going to play again, I think you've got to look at the fixtures for the up, not just for 3 weeks. I think you got to, well, actually, I say 3 weeks. Fixture. It is the international week. So basically, the first 3 weeks are your key ones, purely because the first 3, then it goes into the international break. I think the first 3 weeks you can test to see what people's are, where people stand, and what everyone is talking about. And also, of course, the transfer window is still open here. Okay. So I think everyone's going to wait almost until that transfer window takes place. Once it's closed, boom. I think a lot of people are going to have more of a set teams and maybe move players around, or maybe bench players and put the bench players on. So substitute them around instead of actually transferring people. So I think that's what you got to look at. Now, I'm going to show you my second draft team on the next video. So I've changed my team entirely almost. And I will talk through it and reasons why I've done it. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye from now.